68% of houses that burn in wildfire are due to the embers. The other 32% is due to either radiant heat and an actual flame touching and making its way up to the house. It's important to know the zones around your house and to be aware of them in order to reduce the potential heat. In this lesson, I'll explain all the zones and what to look out for in each. Let's dive in. Zone 0 is the ember resistant zone, and this zone is 5 feet out from your home. This is also the most important zone to pay attention to. As a firefighter, we like to see as little vegetation on or around your structure. We like to see dirt, rock, or concrete up against your home, and we don't like to see anything flammable leaning against your home. It's important to really maintain all the vegetation around your home and then have it as lean as possible. Zone 1 is 5 to 30 feet out from your home. This is called the lean, clean, and green zone. What we really like to see as firefighters is no uniform fuels. All vegetation is green and irrigated, and you don't have bunches of vegetation close touching together or close to your home. If you have grass, please maintain it under 3 inches, and if you have a yard, keep it nice and green, keep it nice and clean. We don't want to see any wood piles in this zone. We want to move those out into zone 2, keeping that big heat pocket away from your home. Zone 2 is your 30 to 100 feet zone, and that's where we really want to focus on reducing that heat load from encroaching on your zone 1. The whole point of zone 2 is to really thin out those heavy fuels and to make sure that intensity of heat is reduced. So by the time it gets to zone 1, it has little or no heat carrying through to zone 0, which then will carry to your home. So zone 2 is a really big buffer zone that we want to focus on your canopy and your uniform fuels on the ground. It's important that we take care of all of our ladder fuels, which will allow fire to go from the ground up into the canopy. Remember, in zone 2, what we really want to focus on is creating that space from the ground to the canopy of the trees, and also separating all fuels away from each other so that fire can't jump from one to another. So zone 3, or the extended zone. This one's extremely important also. This is your biggest chunk of how you can get that heat taken away from your other zones. So just like you do in zone 2, you continue this process out in zone 3, further away from your home. This is after your 100-foot line, and you carry that same concept you had in zone 2, just further out of your house. Depending on your slope, depending on the aspect, and depending on your fuel loads, will determine how far down you go or how far out you go, creating that defensible space. When we're talking about zones, remember, it's all about heat reduction, horizontally and vertically. Let me help you decide what zone to start in the next lesson.